second graders. So we are starting on Eureka Module 4, Lesson 2. So let's go ahead and get started. Our objective today is we're going to add and subtract multiples of 10, including counting on to subtract. Things to remember. There's some things that we just have to remember, and one of those is multiples of 10. We've been talking about this, and you probably hear the word multiple and you think of multiply, and you think, I'm in second grade, I haven't learned how to multiply. Well, multiples of 10 just means any number when you're counting by 10. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And there's more, but I'll stop at 100. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a number bond. Remember, our number bond has a whole and two parts. And then we have the arrow way. We've been talking about the arrow way for the last 2 days, and the arrow way is when you chunk numbers together to help you add and subtract. And if you don't remember what that is, we're going to talk about that today. So let's go ahead and continue. So for review, let me go ahead and remind you what decomposing is. When you decompose, you have a whole and two parts. So my whole is 23. And if I'm going to take it apart, there's lots of ways to decompose this. But for today, we're going to focus on tens and ones because it's one of the easiest ways to decompose a number. And when we use tens, those are friendly numbers to use when we're decomposing and when we're adding and subtracting. So let's go ahead and look at 23. And that's 2 tens and 3 ones. So that means I have 20 and 3. Let's look at another number. I have 57. How many tens do I have right there? I have 5 tens. Now remember, I don't just write 5, I write 50. And then how many ones do I have? 7 ones. Okay, and let's look at our last number. We have 16. How many tens do I have? I only have 1 10, but I don't write 1. I have to write 10. And then my other part is 6. 10 and 6 make 16. Okay, and for review, let's go ahead and look at this. I have 5 tens plus 3 tens equals blank tens. Now, remember when you have 5 tens and 3 tens, 5 tens is the same as 50, and 3 tens is the same as 30. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I have 5 tens, and let's go ahead and add 3 more. There they are. How many tens do I have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 10 units. So let's go ahead and add 50 plus 30. So instead of counting these by unit and going 1, 2, I'm going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. So 50 plus 30 equals 80. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. 2 tens plus 7 tens. 2 tens is the same as 20. 7 tens is the same as 70. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I start off with 2 tens, and I'm going to add 7 more. So there we go. There's my 7 tens. Let's go ahead and see how many units of 10 we have. So I'm going to count my 10 sticks. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 units of 10. And then I have 20 plus 70. So if 2 tens plus 7 tens equals 9 tens, then 20 plus 70 equals 90. Okay, so now let's look at subtraction. Subtraction is different. We have to take some away. So I'm going to start off with 8 tens, and I'm going to take away 2 tens. So let's see what that looks like. There's my 8 tens. You can see if I count by tens, it's 80. So let's go ahead and take 2 of those tens away. Goodbye, tens. There they go. So 8 tens take away 2 tens is, let's see how many I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 units of 10 left. Now that means that 80 take away 20 equals 60. Okay, let's look at the next one. I have 7 tens, and I'm going to take away 3 tens. So let's go ahead and take them away. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, tens. And how many am I left with? I am left with 4 units of 10. So that means that 70 take away 30 equals 40. All right. So let's go ahead and solve this problem. I have 40 plus 23. Now, if I'm thinking of using a number bond, I'm going to go ahead and decompose a number. Now, I'm not going to decompose my multiple of 10, which is 40, because that's a friendly number. 23 is not a friendly number, so I'm going to decompose it to make it a friendly number. So here's my 23, and I'm going to take it apart, and that's 20 and 3. So let's go ahead and show what that looks like right there. I have 20 and 3. So remember in Module 1, when we added like units? Well, I'm going to do that today. So let's look at my like units. Do you see how I have a 40 and a 20? Well, if I put those together, I have 40 plus 20 equals 60. And then what do I have left? Do you see what I'm circling? That's right, I have 3. So all I have to do to add 40 plus 23 is add 60 plus 3, and that equals 63. So that's a nice way to get the answer to 40 plus 23. And you can see the answer right there, 63. Okay, let's go ahead and solve it again, but let's use the arrow way. So remember, when I have 40 plus 23, I know that 23 is 2 10s and 3 1s. So I'm going to start my arrow way. So I'm going to start at 40, and then I'm going to jump how many 10s? 2 10s. So there's 2 10s, and then how many 1s? Well, 1, 2, 3. So do you see that? I have 2 10s and 3 1s, and now I'm going to add 2 10s and 3 1s. So let's go ahead and add those numbers in. So 40 and 10 more is 50. 10 more than 50 is 60. Now, am I going to add a 10 or a 1? Well, this says 1, so now I've got to go to my next number. So 60, what comes after 60? 61, 62, and 63. So I can say that 40 plus 23 equals 63. Now, I'm showing you these ways because you get to pick which one you like. Now, if you can do it another way, you can always do things another way. But this is just one way, and you might like it, so try it out. Okay, let's try it with subtraction now. I have 80 take away 41. So here I am thinking of my number bond. Now, I'm not going to break apart 80 because that's a friendly number. But 40 I can break up. So let's go ahead and, oops, that says 45, and I don't know why it says 45. Let me go ahead and change that to 41. There's the 1 right there. And then it's 40 and 1. That part is correct. So when I break it down, it becomes 40 and 1. So remember, I'm going to subtract my like units now. I'm not adding, I'm subtracting. And remember, my like units are right here. 80 take away 40. So what's 80 take away 40? Well, I know that 8 take away 4 is 4, so 80 take away 40 equals 40. And then what's left? I have my 1 left. So am I going to add it or am I going to subtract it? If you said subtract, you're absolutely right. I have to do 40 and 1 less is equal to 39. Okay, so 80 take away 41 equals 39. Let's go ahead and do this with the arrow way. And for me, I find that using the arrow way with subtraction is a lot easier than using it with addition. So I notice a mistake right here. I have all kinds of mistakes, but remember, everybody makes mistakes and I make the most. So here we go, 80, and this should say take away 41. So excuse my mistake right there. And I know that 41 is 4 10s and 1 1. So I'm going to start at 80, and now I'm going to take away how many 10s? 4 10s. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and then I have to take away 1 1. So there we go. So let's go ahead and see what our arrow way looks like. So I have 80, and then 10 less than 80 is 70. And then if I take away 10, 60, 50, 40. And then again, we're gonna think 1 less than 40 is 39. So that means that 80 take away 41 equals 39. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some problems, and we're gonna even solve one that has a missing addend, but I promise you it's really easy to get to today. So when I'm working out these problems, I have 50 plus 24. So if you're doing this on your own, you can go ahead and decompose this, and you can make this 20 and 4. And then remember, let's add our like units. I have 50 plus 20, so 50 plus 20 equals 70, and then I have 4 left. So what is 70 plus 4 more? Well, that equals 74. So my answer is 74. Now, let's see what we're going to do with the missing addend. This is something where I can use my arrow way, or you can also use mental math. So let's go ahead and look right here. I'm looking at my ones place, and that's a 7, and this is a 7. So I have 5 tens, and I have 8 tens. So how many more tens do I need to get from 50 to 80? This is one of those problems where an arrow way will help me, because I can start at 57, and then look, I can jump 10 and go to 67, and then I go to 77, and then I get to 87. Now, how many did I jump? I jumped 10, 10, and 10. So if I jumped 10, 10, 10, what does that equal? 10, 20, and 30. So 57 plus 30 equals 87. Okay, so when we're working on subtraction, I personally like to use the arrow way because I think this is a lot easier than decomposing. So let me show you why I like using the arrow way. So here I have 78 take away 40. Now remember, I know that 40 is just 4 tens by itself. It's a friendly number, so it's easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and start my arrow way with 78. And then I'm going to take away minus 10. So minus 10, minus 10, minus 10, and minus 10. So 78 take away 10. Remember, my ones stay the same, but my tens go down. So that's 68. And then take away 10, 58. And then take away 10, that is 48. And if I take away 10 more, it's 38. So you can count down by tens and get your answer that way. This is why I like the arrow way for subtraction, because it makes it so easy. So let's go ahead and look at this one, 84, and I have to get to 24. So if I start at 84 and I'm subtracting, that means I'm taking 10 away. The number in my ones place is 4 in both numbers, so I know I'm just jumping 10. So let's go ahead and start that down here so I have some more room. I have 84, and I want to get to 24. So let's go ahead and figure out how we can go backwards. If I take away 10 from 84, that's 74. Let's take away 10 more. 64, 54, and then I'm running out of room. 44, 34, and then I finally get to 24. So let's see how many times we jumped. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Sometimes math is messy and you go around, but that would be 84 take away 60 equals 24. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, finally I have a story problem. There were 68 plates in the sink at the end of the day. There were 40 plates in the sink at the beginning of the day. How many plates were added throughout the day? Use the arrow way to show your simplifying strategy. All right. I have 68 plates in the sink at the end of the day. That means that's all I had. Altogether, I had 68 plates. So I had 68 plates at the end of the day. That's kind of like my sum, because when I started the day, I had 40 plates. It's kind of like you went to bed and you didn't wash dishes. So you started with 40 plates in the sink, and then I still didn't wash dishes throughout the day. So I still have, right here. And then at the end of the day, I had 68 plates. So how can I figure that out? Now, we've been working with number bonds, so we can use number bonds and we can use our arrow way. So I know that when I have 68 and it's the sum, I know that I have 2 parts. Now remember, when I have 2 parts, that equals the whole. But remember when I put my whole first and I subtract one of the parts, and I can get the answer just like that? So when I'm doing my number way, I can do it like this, where I start at 40 and I get to 68. But when I look at 68, I know that I'm going to have to jump a few tens, and then I'm going to have to jump a lot of ones to get there, because I started with 0 ones, and that's a lot to do. But if I do it this way and I do 68 take away 40, well, all I have to do is take away 4 tens. So let's see what that looks like. So here's 68. I'm going to take 1 10, 2, 3, 4 tens. So let's go ahead and subtract 68 take away 40. 58, 48, 38, and 28. So I can say that 40 plus 28 equals 68. Or I can say that 60 take away 40 equals 28. So 28 more plates were added throughout the day. All right, so remember, if you have any questions, please ask me. I know this is a lot, but we've got this. We can do it. So let's go ahead and take a look at your seesaw activities. Okay, remember, your first seesaw activity is to always watch this video, but the first activity is, I want you to tell me what's 5 tens plus 4 tens. How many tens does that equal? Remember, we're talking about the units. We're not talking about the value of the units. So what is the unit? And then tell me what 50 plus 40 is. And then we have 8 tens take away 5 tens. How many tens do you have left? And then tell me what 80 take away 50 is. And then we have a review problem from yesterday. I have 26, and I want to know what is 10 less, 10 more, 1 less, 1 more. Remember, get your highlighter and highlight the numbers around it. It's kind of like the letter T. And when you highlight those numbers, you know where to put them, right here, okay? And then you have a challenge problem. Let's read it for you. Mark had 78 puzzle pieces. He lost 30 pieces. How many pieces does Mark have left? Use the arrow way to show your simplifying strategy. So I laid everything out for you. You have 78. I want you to take away 10. And then after you take away 10 more. And then take away 10 more. And then tell me how many puzzle pieces Mark has left. So Mark has blank puzzle pieces left. So your answer will be here, and your answer will be here. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and work on some worksheets, and we're done with lesson 2. Bye.